Which SEO metrics should we use in link building? Links are on pages. They are on source pages or linking pages or referring pages. And they have anchor text there. We measure a risk there. They have power measured by LRT power or URL rating. That one is passed over to the target page. The anchor text is passed over and the risk is passed over. Risk is only available in link research tools. Detailed links are highlighted link 1, link 2, etc. The link detox risk metric is calculated on a page level. Also, trust is being transferred from other pages. The more trusted pages link to a target page, the higher the trust. This is not available in Ahrefs. This is not available in SEMrush. But Link Research Tools has a trust metric called LRT trust. However, it's easy to manufacture power. Trust is not easy to manufacture. Let's go back to the question, which metrics should we look at? Here in this chart, we see this page and the target page and a lot of metrics, but we do not see the domain. That is because a link is always placed on a page. A page has a link to a target page, not a domain. A domain is only a collection of URLs, a collection of pages. That means any domain-based metric is always an aggregate of these metrics. Or in other words, you cannot judge by looking at the average for the whole domain. A link can be judged by looking at the metrics for the link. Let's try to back this up with some data. Here is Ahrefs, and here is the Link Research Tools com domain, and we are sorting by DR, domain rating, a very popular metric used by link builders. And link builders get often paid an amount of money based on the DR of the links they get. Let's look at the strongest link measured by DR. This is a very popular quote by my friend. It's a YouTube video. Actually, it's a no-follow link. And what we see here is that the last time Ahrefs updated this link was July 16. That's many years ago. That's a long time ago. And maybe that also explains why the number of referring domains here is not listed or there's no keyword data. Let's look at a video for a moment. Oh, it's not there. It's actually switched to private. There is no video. There is no link. There is not even a title. Nothing. So sometimes between now and July 16, a lot has changed. For example, also the target page here does not link to www.linkresearch.com/case studies anymore. This one redirects to our smart subdomain, the link thing blog. Now, we clearly see that this doesn't look like the best link. When you judge your links by DR, you are falling into the same trap. It measures the backlink profile for the whole domain. Or in other words, it takes essentially all links and makes an average. A lot of other data involved that has nothing to do with this page. So that's where the URL rating hopefully comes. When we look at that, it says 21. However, from 0 to 100, I don't think that's a 21. That's what is this? It's not even a link. So when we look at that and we check out what's actually linking to this URL, we do this here in the quick backlink checker. We see source domain power trust, tag SEO blog is linking there. But actually only one of those links has some power. When we look at this page, here's a really old post, and somewhere in here, there's a link to the YouTube video. Now, when we go back and sort by the URL rating, here are very different links that are the strongest from Backlinker, from TechXpeeder, from Outreach Mama, and that looks a lot better. Okay, that makes more sense. I'm not fond of looking at 5-year-old link data, so at least those most powerful URLs are fresh here. The other ones were also listed in the live index, but they were not live at all. So I don't know what they're doing in here. It does not contain live links. This link is not live. And we can check that out again in Link Research Tools itself. And when we look at the data here, this specific one link, we see that there's a different redirect trace. We see that the source page power trust is actually 0. We see that the domain is of course strong, but yeah, it's YouTube. I want to pull up the documentation that we have on Power Trust real quick. So here you see that looking at power and trust is something that Ahrefs doesn't have and SEMrush doesn't have. It makes a difference if you have a weak link on a trusted page or a very trusted page or not trusted at all. So here we got nitro links. Strong link, a lot of links to this page, but the trust isn't there. That's why we call it nitro links. These are the links that get you into trouble. And a weak link is, of course, a link that has no power and no trust at all. So we always strive to make our links superstar links with a maximum of power, but also a maximum of trust. And when we look at this overview here of the different metrics we have with the source page power trust, source page power, source page trust, you see a lot of different metrics, and it really matters. If you look at this on a domain level, you see a 36, but that's not the best link you can get. The best link you can get is a 4.4, but that's on a domain with a 12. Does it make sense? The pages themselves earn the power and the trust, and then that aggregates to the domain and the root domain. But if you have a very strong domain, it's not necessarily the case that all the links that you get there are also strong, and especially not trusted. Power comes from other pages, and trust comes also from other pages. Of course, then we say internal links or network links or external links, but the calculation, what a URL has, is done on the URL level. And Google confirmed that they don't have any domain-wide metric. Now, to sum this up, these are the metrics that you should be looking at. The strength of a page, you can measure that with Ahrefs URL rating, or LLT power. The anchor text, the risk is measured by detox risk, and the trust. You can measure that with LLT trust. And like I showed you in this example here, we have this as separate metrics or as combined metrics in power trust. So when you look at power trust, it's always trust and power multiplied. Yeah, and because all of this sounds very complicated, we should talk about the link simulator. And the link simulator helps you to do all these checks and calculations, not only for existing links, but for links that you don't have. That's why it's a simulator. You would just add your links here in this box, and I already did that for this project, where we have a lot of different links added, 179 link opportunities. And you see there is a risk attached to each of them. You see a risk of 2,100, and everything above 1,000 is terrible already. So I would, in fact, take these here, all of them, and just say, no, thank you. If you look at only one metric, then please look at the detox risk. If there is no risk known, then you can judge on the power. So when we look at this filter and we say the detox risk needs to be very low, we already are down to 22 link opportunities. Next, I can now judge on the power of the pages. These would be the home pages. Oh, wait. We're not getting a link on the homepage. It's going to be a subpage in this blog category. To simulate the risk of a link in a specific blog category, you cannot upload a list of domains, because I told you, it's the pages that matter, not the domains. And if you're not on the homepage, you need to look at the pages. If the page is not there yet, you have to not just simulate the metrics for a page, but you also have to come up with a page that is very similar. For instance, another blog post or another article in that same category. And of course, you can never know how many additional links that page would get. But it's the closest possible estimation of the power, the trust, and very important, the risk that you earn. You don't want to build links with low trust. You don't want to build links with high risk. And if you only build links with high power and you ignore risk and trust, then you are in trouble. You could get a penalty by building only links that are very powerful but have low trust or high risk. Okay, I hope that was useful. Let me know if you have any questions and I'll happily answer them.